Hey, folks, before we get into the podcast, I want to encourage you to go over to patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone. You can get exclusive stand-up sets from Eddie. You get videos of this podcast the day it comes out, and you'll get some nice little sweet little messages from the man himself. Go over to youtube.com and search Apocalypse Soon, the podcast, and you will find our page. Subscribe to that. I also want to promote pepmonge.bandcamp.com. Eddie just put out a short album of singing and characters with his buddy Robbie Mangiano. It's on Bandcamp. It's absolutely hilarious. If you like this podcast, you will love the album. It's awesome. Eddie just played something for me, and we were dying here. So enjoy. Now, let's get into the podcast. Welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside. And now, oh, sweet baby Jesus. It's the man with the hats. He's been eating salad. He's been working out. He's checking his Apple Watch. It's Eddie Pepitone.
Hey, everybody. I am an Italian alien. And I'm going to fuck each and every one of you. I am not a human, but I am Italian. I am not a human, but I am Italian. I'm an Italian robot alien. And I have a song for you. It goes like this. There once was a piece of fettuccine that's got stuck in my teeth. And every time I tried to take it out, I found out that I had no money. No money. What does that have to do with fettuccine, you ask? And I say, watch out! There's a wolf! Yes, that is the Italian alien, and welcome to our podcast, everybody. I just wanted to start our podcast off with the Italian alien for our Patreon member, Max, who I met in Schenectady, and he's a gentleman that doesn't care for the Italian alien. I think you could probably say he's in the minority after listening to that bit of character work.
Absolutely. I don't know how you could listen to what you just did and say no thanks. Because when I hear that,
exactly,
I'm just
that
like,
is so fucking true what you just said.
I mean, how cynical and how cynical do you have to be? You know, he's probably been through a lot. You know, it's
well, no,
you know?
I don't think he's been through enough. Because my characters come out of distress.
Yes,
a lot of comics, their characters will come out of joy, whereas my characters come out of, a survival mechanism. It's like, did you see Silence of the Lambs?
Of course.
Do you remember when he had the woman, the senator's daughter, and she was in a hole, like a...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It puts the lotion on its skin or it gets the hose again.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I forgot why. What was I working toward?
Well,
there?
you were saying that your comedy comes out of despair.
Yeah. And so my humor kind of comes out of that kind of where you're trapped in a pit dug by a madman.
Yeah. I'm surprised when she got out of the hole, she didn't have a hot 5 ready to go.
A what?
A hot 5 minutes.
Minutes.
Like a 5-minute set.
Well, no. She would probably become a good stand-up.
Yeah.
If that was real.
Yeah. A lot of you guys know I was trapped in a hole by Buffalo Bill. I was going to wear my skin as a skin jacket. And everybody claps. Yeah.
But what's the pun? Like, what's the bit? Like, so I was going to wear a skin jacket, and I said, hey, I got a better idea. Why don't you take my teeth and shove them up your ass?
Yeah.
It's like very bad stand-up, but it's just like cathartic. Anyway, folks, thanks for joining us. That's a very weird way to open, I'll tell you that. And can you imagine if this is somebody's first listen? Like they just put it on and they're like, oh my God, they let people do anything.
He's yelling into the microphone right off the bat.
Dolores, will you
Why?
turn that goddamn cacophony off?
I give them one chance to listen to this podcast, and he's screaming, and he's saying it is an Italian alien, but he's not human, and he's a robot now? I don't get it.
And also, Dolores, they fucking call this humor now. I remember, to me, humor was Norm Crosby. Norm Crosby had some very funny things about chairs. This humor is just vile. I mean, Silence of the Lamb references about women. I mean, why don't they just take a shit on a microphone and record that? Dolores, are you there? Meanwhile, Dolores has been dead for years. Dolores had passed away.
She's in a chair.
In a chair.
Yeah, like
He wears wigs to look like Dolores.
I can't believe entertainment today. Dolores.
Dolores.
You agree?
He's like a crazed podcast critic.
Yeah.
Who lost his wife, and now he wears her wigs and keeps talking to her. Dolores, this stuff, I mean, they might as well just take a piss on a steel pedal. I know you don't understand that, Dolores. You're dead. So, what's going on this week, brother?
Oh, I'm jam packed with dropping kids off and picking them up from school. And
When does that end? Yeah,
that ends in 4 more years.
4 more years. It does, huh?
Yeah, they're going to be out of the house and stuff. My son doesn't want to leave. He says. He goes, I want to live with you forever.
Well, with the way things are in the outside world, and I don't mean to be a pessimist, but they are collapsing, so it might be a good idea. There are more and more people living with their parents right now.
I don't mind.
Just waiting for their parents to die.
Yeah. Yep.
So they can take over
my son's
the finances.
He's been waiting for me to die so he can get his hands on my Prius C. And he just
Prius C, is there a calculation? Is there a gradation?
Oh yeah.
What's the Prius A?
The Prius A is the full Prius, and the Prius.
You have a Prius C.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the little silver car you have?
It's almost 200,000 miles on it. It's still kicking, baby.
It looks
Oh
it.
yeah.
It looks like your car looks like an old boxer who's like, I could have been somebody.
I could have bet you nothing.
Yeah,
you
nothing.
shit, Prius.
You did me wrong, Charlie. I could have drove highways.
I could have left California.
I don't know why you didn't take me to San Diego, Charlie.
Yeah, he's waiting for that. He loves the MPGs, miles per gallon, and my computer. He's waiting, and the remote control of
How
the TV.
old is he? 14.
He's 15. So yeah, he's
And your daughter? How many kids you have again?
2.
Okay,
2.
So you got 1-on-1. That was my thing too. It's just me and my sister.
I like
3
it.
years apart.
I always wanted when we first were dating, and I was a young, optimistic man. I wanted 5 kids.
Those days are gone.
Those days are gone. Yeah, I wanted 5 kids because I had friends that had a lot of brothers and sisters. 5 kids. The families were always so cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were self-sufficient. They were usually good at sports, and they were funny. Most kids with big families are funny,
Because there's a lot to bounce off of.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we stuck with the 2. We barely survived the 2, and those first early years they're rough.
Yeah,
they're
Your
rough.
kids had to go to work when they were 1?
Yeah, well, we tried to take them at 9 months, but the coal mine said no. So
I remember going to work with a little lunch pail. I was 6 months, and I had because we had just financial problems, and I was like, "Excuse me." I was going to a factory, little lunch pail. Excuse me, pardon me. And big blue collars would be like, "Come on, what the hell you doing here? You're not even a toddler. You're an infant." Excuse me, I gotta put money on the table.
Don't disparage me just because of my age.
Do you know where the lathe is? A lot of people getting cut up in that in half. But you do get a bottle of Grand Marnier.
That's the price of doing business, I guess. It's just the cost of living around here.
Okay. Anybody know? Can anybody change my diaper before I start today?
He's just picking away.
Like the kid's working a lathe, but everybody around him is like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, what is that fucking?" He went in his pants again. I can't help it. I'm a toddler.
I tell you, I'm lactose intolerant.
I'm an infant. We've had financial problems. I had to go to work.
That is such a true thing that people forget about all the time.
What?
That kids, as young as like 7, 8 years old, would go to work.
Well,
Back in the
that's
day.
still happening in
other
poorer
Yeah,
countries,
yeah.
and I would imagine kids here in a lot of it's economic hardship.
I
you know?
think more kids should be going to work. Around.
I
here, just
agree.
to
I think-
toughen them up.
I think once you hit 3.5, you're ready to go.
Your working age.
3.5, put them on a printing press, big machinery.
By the way, you had mentioned very briefly of you as a toddler running through a field with a tiny shotgun, and that
When?
on the last podcast.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, and that image is now in my mind.
With the tiny
Just a
shotgun.
little-
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a dove today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to Boy with Tiny Shotgun. You're watching Romanian TV, where our programming is not very good.
Our first guest today is little 7-year-old Edward Pepitone. He has brought his shotgun here with him.
Thanks for having me. You don't sound like you're 7. Yeah, well, my voice got bucked up. I drank a lot of Drano.
Drano, what the hell is that? What are you shooting with your shotgun?
I'm shooting little things because it's very tiny, this shotgun. So what I usually shoot, frogs, ants.
Very good.
It's a living.
All right, I'm bailing out of this.
I sell the pelts of ants. I'm a trader up there in Canada there.
Ant pelt very small, yes?
Fuck you, pal.
Did you ever go hunting?
No.
No. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I love murdering animals with my family.
Right.
It was a family tradition, the Tinkins, around Thanksgiving time. I'd drive down to Lindsay, California, and my aunts and uncles, and we'd all be out there and we'd go dove hunting.
Dove?
Yeah.
Doves are fucking gorgeous.
I know they're a sign of peace for the
fuck,
children.
Man. That's right.
But they are very delicious. They're sweet. They're like a sweet meat. But yeah,
Fuck you.
and if you don't,
I mean, the stuff you reveal on this podcast. Last podcast, you took shots at Saget,
yes,
and he's dead. And now you're going after. Now I find out you and your family hunts doves. I mean,
yeah,
well, what? You couldn't find lovebirds?
no,
You got the next best fucking thing?
Well, I was like 10 years old.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, Mary, what was your mother's name?
Bonnie.
Bonnie, get the kids together. We're gonna hunt puppies. Well, the doves, they're endangered now over here in Fresno. So we're gonna hunt puppies. We're gonna go for some beautiful, beautiful Dachshund puppies. But that'll traumatize the kids. What's your dad's name?
Jim.
That'll traumatize the kids, Jim. Hey, let me tell you something, Bonnie. They've been traumatized already. All right? Yes, but why further traumatize them?
My parents' names were Bonnie Jean and Jim Bob.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
We had such different upbringings,
Yeah. I think
By the way, I wanted to ask you something. Let's get off the fact that you've been killing small creatures
I haven't
that
hunted.
deliver peace, that are signs of peace.
I haven't been hunting in years. It's been since I was a kid.
I mean, I went through a phase where I would sneak up. I'm Sicilian, so I would have piano wire, and I would sneak up behind deer and just strangle them to death.
Go to sleep.
I'd say, "This is a message from fucking Luca." No, it's a message from Don Corleone.
And then you put a human head in the deer's bed.
That's funny. The deer wakes up. Oh, ooh.
Yeah, what does a deer sound like?
It's always the head of a news anchor. For some reason. It's Jake Tapper.
He put Al Roker in my bed.
That fucking guy.
You were going to ask me something.
Yes.
There was something coming. I felt it.
I was. Oh, yeah. I wanted to get out of, killing of animals, and I had something to ask you, and now it's slipped away.
It's gone. It's gone for good.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Dementia Podcast. Our host will bring up a topic. It will never get addressed.
Are you feeling a little bit of slippage?
A little bit.
A little bit?
I think. Yeah, I get worried because I'm getting up there. I'm in my late 20s now.
Yeah.
And I know I look older, but that's, I have the aging disease like
Yes.
Ben Button.
Yeah. Well, you still get carded everywhere. I see that a lot. They're always, sir, come on. You're not going to pull the wool over our eyes.
Right, just because you got a gray beard, sir. You got the aging disease. That's palpable.
I forget stuff all the time.
You do?
And it's, and I would attribute to other outside factors and things, but then I'll be completely sober and sometimes, and somebody will be like, remember that thing with the thing? I'll be like, no, not at all. And they'll be like, yeah, you did this, that, or it's people. The funny thing is when people will quote me back to me, like friends, and I'm like, what's that? And they're like, you said that. That's your thing. I'm like,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's sad, that I don't, remember where I live, who I've hurt.
Yeah.
Where did I leave the people that I kidnapped?
Yeah.
What abandoned site?
Well, you have so many great spots, to
I really do.
to kidnap somebody.
I really do. I feel like McConnell now. That'd be funny. He just kind of I don't know why I'm kind of obsessed with the McConnell thing now because it happened a while ago. But
Well, yeah, it happened again recently.
I know that. I'm not an asshole. And I remember, he just stares straight ahead, which is wild. But imagine if he went like this, like he looked to the side occasionally. That would be even. I wonder if that would be even crazier. Like,
Yeah, like he sees something. It's like, Mitch, what's going on? He's just still staring.
would be an incredible practical joke is if McConnell pretended to freeze and then said, "I'm fine, just kidding."
Yeah.
Like, just kidding, coming out of it like a magician.
I think if he really, if for some reason, if there was an explanation as to why he was freezing up and he was on the mend or whatever, I think that would be a great PR move, to do that. To intentionally freeze up and to be like, I'm just messing around. Those days are behind me. Old Mitch McConnell is sentient and sentient and I'm alive.
Yeah.
I have a struggle bringing up words sometimes.
Sentient was good. Satiant is not a word.
No. I like them. I think I'm kind of a wordsmith. I make words.
You make words,
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have on those fucking big high boots and a hammer, and you're like, "What are you making, Dad? A fucking pronoun. Go eat your dinner." Wordsmith.
Satiant.
Hey, Daddy's making a pronoun, Mom. What the hell is he making a pronoun for at this hour? The dinner's ready.
The food's getting cold.
Yesterday, missed dinner for an adverb.
The wordsmith will be right back after these messages from pre-diabetic medication.
Are you suffering from pre-diabetes? Are you a fucking jerk? Well, come on down. We got a pre-diabetic medication. You just stick it in your goddamn ass, and you hop around. Go fuck yourselves. I don't got any medication. I just bought up this advertising time because I have so much goddamn money.
Are you one of them weak-ass pussy diabetic bitches? Call us up. We'll get you some medication. I don't need it. I'm fine.
Hello, is this the Apocalypse Now podcast? This is the Diabetes Association. We find you gentlemen to be reprehensible, and we'd like to offer you a spot with us.
Oh, we'll take it.
Thank you.
That's called a soft ending. Have you heard of a soft opening?
No.
You never heard of a soft opening? Have you guys? Where they haven't either. It's kind of, I think it was like a restaurant term where a new restaurant will just have, at first, invited guests.
Yes.
And they serve the food, and they call it a soft opening because it isn't, people they don't know who may complain. It's invited guests, so they kind of see how the kitchen works and the dishes, if people like the dishes. So.
Yeah. I was thinking of a soft opening as far as like a comedy bit, and that's why I was like, no, I don't know. But I had a friend who opened a restaurant, and we did the soft opening.
Oh, you did? What kind of restaurant was
Pizza. It was just a pizza spot.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
A restaurant.
Do you really have to have a soft opening for a pizzeria?
Yeah.
Hey, what I'm going to do, I'm going to invite 7 fat fucks.
You mean the musical group, the 7 Fat Fucks?
No, these are friends. They're all fat. They're all fucks. I'm going to invite them, and we're going to have a soft opening.
What the fuck is a soft opening, Lou?
It's soft, then it opens.
It's like a calzone.
So anyway, I'm going to serve them pizza and see if they like it. And they're fat fucks, so I'm pretty sure the soft opening is going to go good.
And also, you don't pay, but you tip, I believe. I think you can tip the staff.
Yeah. That's how it was for us too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you eat that night?
Yeah. It was great. I did that one. The one that was I've actually done, like, I think it was like 2 years ago, was like for a catering service, and it was a friend of ours who was doing like a teppanyaki catering service. So they would
teppanyaki.
Yeah, so like
what is that? Is that
the
legal?
hibachi grill type thing. So he was doing that, but as a catering service. So we'd go to somebody's backyard and he would make it for us, and everybody gave him like $25 or whatever, and we
he would make the food in front of people.
Yes, a lot of it, but he would do that, and then it would be like Mongolian barbecue style too. So and he did. He was playing with the what's the '70s thing where you put the meat in the oil,
Fondue? No?
Fondue, yeah. So he also would do fondue stuff, and it was fun. It was a good time. We got hammered that night. It was a good night. It was a good night.
You're listening to Food Tales told by idiots. Food Tales. I was thinking of soft openings for like surgeons, like just gonna invite a couple of my friends and crack open their brains and see if I could rewire them.
No charge, but I do appreciate it.
No charge, but it'd be nice if, I don't know, they gave me an automobile.
Just small car, maybe a Prius C, it'd be nice.
Not the C.
Not the C, the Eco.
Let's get in. Wow, we're 25 minutes in already.
Well,
that was a weird opening, but
I mean, we're flowing. We're flowing free like a wild river. And they're unpredictable sometimes.
It's true.
I was thinking, I don't know if you enjoy this, but I really enjoyed the praying for celebrities segment that we did.
Oh, that was funny. All right, let's try that one again.
All right. And now another spiritual journey on Eddie Pepitone's Praying for Celebrities.
Hey, Dad,
Yes, son?
I think I'm feeling very sleepy.
Well, it's past your bedtime, pal, and I know we watched all those horror movies, and so you've been getting a little sleepy, so maybe it's time for bed. Now, don't forget to say your prayers, little Ed.
Wait a minute, did you drug me?
I wouldn't do that. Come
Yeah,
on.
but I feel particularly woozy.
Well, you did have a lot of Cheetos today, son, and you've been eating a lot of turkey, and Mom said
Why do you keep serving us Dove?
son, it's a delicious meat,
Are
and
you killing them?
we do have to kill, and we have to kill a lot of them too, son. We got to kill because there's not a lot of meat on them.
I want to pray for Bill Maher.
All right. Let's close our eyes and clasp our hands.
I just hope you're not drugging me, Dad.
I don't know where this is coming from, son. I wouldn't
I'll tell you
drug you.
where
I
it's
love
coming from. I see you stirring things into my damn drinks.
Well, that is Metamucil because of your hard stool that we talked about. Remember how you've been having a hard time pushing out the poopies?
I hate you.
Now, come
All
on.
right, Dad, I'm sorry I said that.
All right, immediately forgive him.
God, you're lenient.
My dad used to beat me with a stick every morning, and I said I'm going to
It
be the
shows your
exact
face
opposite.
is all fucked up.
I always love your candor, son. You say what you
Well, I call it like I see it, Father.
think. You do. You're going to be a great umpire someday, son.
Your face looks like somebody attacked you with a pipe for 7 consecutive years.
All right. Well, now I'm starting to feel it a little bit, and that kind of hurt Dad's feelings. So
It
let's-
just looks like a very large truck.
I want to applaud your creativity and your
Ran
ability
you
to
over a
describe
few
me.
hundred times, but you're my dad and I love you.
I love you too, son. Now let's say our prayers.
Okay, I
and
want
talk
to pray for
God.
Bill Maher.
All right, let's pray for Mr. Maher.
Dear God, if you're looking down on scabs, people who don't support strikes, the writers' strike, well, look no further, God, than Bill Maher, who is starting up his show again during the writers' strike. He's a piece of shit, God, and I think a lot of bad stuff is going to befall him. So please help Bill Maher, God. I mean, he's only a multimillionaire, and he doesn't really support the writers who work for him. He says, "Oh, I love my writers," and then he calls them kooky. Their demands are unreasonable. He's a real piece of shit, God, and I don't want any harm to come to him because he's only got probably around 30 million. Please look down on him. And God, I say this every week, but look down on Beyonce because, she just finished a tour and she's probably tired. She's probably tired and she's probably not getting to do all those costume changes. And I'm sure the costume changes keep her young. So please, look down on Beyonce. She probably has about 500 million in the bank, and you know how quickly you can blow through it. Especially if you have addictions. I don't know if she does, but God, please make Beyonce's money last. And God, please look down on Drew Barrymore, another scab during the writer's strike. She comes from money and had every advantage getting into show business with guys like Eddie Pepitone struggle all their lives and wind up doing podcasts where people delete $5 a week. I don't understand $5 deleted a month. You can't, really? Okay. God, just look down on Drew Barrymore. She's had such a difficult time of it, growing up in a family that was very supportive. And God, I think the biggest one I want you to look down on and take care of Oprah. I mean, okay, she owns a few networks and a few properties in Santa Barbara, but Santa Barbara, it's on the coast, God. And while beautiful, it's susceptible to landslides and floods and fires. So please look down on Oprah. God, please look down on all the billionaires who are under intense pressure because investing your money, that much money, is not easy. Okay, God. And God, can I ask you one question? Is my father drugging me? Show me a sign. Thank you, God.
In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I did want you to get into praying for Eddie Pepitone.
I did a little bit.
That was great. That's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was scabbing going on.
Have you guys heard about Bill Maher in the booth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
What this is? I haven't heard anything about this. And
Yeah,
Drew
well,
Barrymore.
you're not. This shows me who you are. You know, I know you're busy with kids who are self-sufficient, but yeah, he is. First thing he did was on his podcast, whatever the fuck that piece of shit is. He smokes a cigar.
Yeah.
He was interviewing Jim Gaffigan, and Maher came out and just said, you know, the writers, come on, their demands are a little kooky. I mean, you know, you don't get guaranteed a living like. It was just unbelievable shit to say, and of course he prefaced it with, I love my writers. I'm one of the writers. You know, like just horrible. I mean, you don't say that in a strike.
Yeah.
And everybody was pointing out how the writers, you know, made Maher famous.
Yes.
You know, and you could tell he needs writers because he's been off book and he's been just putting his foot in his fucking mouth. And then, yesterday, he announced that Real Time is coming back, but without supposedly the segments that the writers write, like
really
new rules and his monologue up front.
I'm going to be off the cuff. Okay. I don't need my writers.
But it's just like, dude, you're striking. Support them by not. And he's saying, well, it's helping the people who are out of work, like the crew, the cameramen.
Sure.
You know, all of that stuff.
An immediate solution to that won't fix the long-term problems.
That's right.
I mean,
that's right. And
it's just so nearsighted.
And also it's not what a strike is. A strike means you fucking don't produce anything.
Yes.
For the producers, because that's how you put pressure on them.
Yeah.
You know, no, you didn't know. You know, and Drew Barrymore is doing some talk show, and so.
Well, thank God we need another talk show. You know,
God, I know all this bullshit, right?
You know, she really struggled. You know, before she turned 6. You know, she was in this town. You know, slugging away, going to auditions. You know, before she got that big role in E.T. when she was 6 months old.
Oh, was she in E.T.?
Yeah, she was the
Who
little
was
girl, the little girl in E.T. She did it. I mean, that always blows me away. There are some people in Hollywood that just got embraced from the moment they set foot in the city. You know what I mean? And they just have had work since day one.
True. Nick fucking Kroll comes to mind.
Yeah. Well, at least he's super talented. He's hilarious. But he definitely didn't hear a lot of no's. You know, it just.
Let's do another bit.
Yes.
Which one?
Do you want to do another guided meditation?
Sure.
All right. Take off the jacket of your depression and ease into another episode of Guided Meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Oh, okay, everybody. You're now in a safe space. And I'm not talking about a crawl space. A crawl space is where people are kept against their will, or they go to hide out from someone ransacking their house who has a weapon or two. No. You're not in a crawl space. You're in a safe space, not a safe room, which is a room in a house. I never particularly understood what a safe room was, but I always thought it was just there was a safe in the room where you would put your valuables, but I've come to hear that safe rooms are places that are impenetrable when there is incredible danger. You're in a safe space, not a safe room or a crawl space, but a safe space. So I want you to let your heart open. And I don't mean open by a surgeon who's having a soft opening. I'm talking about letting your heart open up so you come alive. Too often we shut down our heart and we die, and we're taken to the morgue and we're identified with toe tags on us and loved ones going, "That's him!" No. I want you to open your heart, and you will be able to take a breath, finally, an unencumbered breath. Not a breath where you feel like you're getting throttled. Not a breath where you feel like you're getting strangled by a madman who was pushed over the edge by the fact that he couldn't pay anything anymore because he had lost his job at the lathe factory. No. I want you to take an open breath where you don't feel unencumbered and just breathe in a new day. That's right. A new day. This breath is all about possibilities. Anything can happen in this day. I mean, yes, your car could go flying off a bridge that collapses because we don't have money for infrastructure in this country, but we do spend billions and billions of dollars on nuclear submarines and Black Hawk helicopters and fighter jets that rain death upon people in other countries and soon to be ours. No, those possibilities exist, but I want you to think of great possibilities, like you find $3 on the floor of your garage. Those kind of possibilities with your first in-breath. With your first in-breath, you find someone's Invisalign case. A case where you could put things like hard candies and blow darts. Think of the possibilities. How many blow darts could you put in someone's Invisalign case? A lot. And then I think it's in breath. Not sure again. I think it's I wanted you to breathe that in, right? Possibilities. So breathe in the fact that you found $3 in a parking garage, and that you put it in your pocket quickly so the man who's desperately looking for it to buy something for his child cannot find it. You have it in your pocket, and you know how to act natural like you didn't find that money. And he's crying in a corner of the garage, and you're on your way to buy gum with it while he was going to try to feed a sickly child. That's the kind of possibilities that exist for you today. And with your first out breath, I want you to breathe out all the guilt, all the guilt you have from all the bad things that you've done in life, from picking up $3 of somebody else's money to hitting someone with a pole, a metal pole. You hit someone with a metal pole in a ballroom dancing class because you hated the teacher, you thought he stole your wife, so you hit someone random in that ballroom dancing class. So you were hoping that someone would give that ballroom dancing teacher a bad Yelp review because there was blood in the... I want you to breathe that out. Breathe out all the guilt you feel from all the assaults, all the armed robberies you've done, all the mean things that you said to customer service people in Vietnam. You just wanted your Spectrum TV to go back on, and you were talking to someone in Vietnam, which is where these corporations, it's one of the places they use to outsource their jobs because they don't want to keep them in this country because labor is much cheaper in a lot of these countries because there's no regulations. And you told the Vietnamese person to eat you. Breathe that out. Don't hold on to that. Don't hold on to that. And then, with your next in-breath, I want you to feel the presence of something wonderful, something miraculous. The presence of something so beautiful that when you look at it, you cry. Beauty that is so overwhelming that when you look at it, you weep tears of joy. Let me give you a couple of examples. When someone who's an asshole in a Best Buy, after berating some Best Buy employees over something that wasn't their fault, he then gets killed in the parking lot by something. It's called comeuppance. Breathe that in. Breathe that kind of beauty in. Another example of something so beautiful that it makes you cry is the IRS burning down. Just seeing that building, which is usually in the downtown area, and it's usually indescript and ugly, and it's where they take your taxes and they build more fighter jets. Breathe that in. And now, with your last out-breath, no, I think that was the out-breath. So now, with your last in-breath, I want you to breathe in the fact that quite possibly there will not be another Aquaman movie, which they're so fucking bad, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to make them.
Thanks for joining us on another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Felt good, huh?
That felt right. That is soothing to think about, that there's not going to be another Aquaman movie.
You know, that I was trying to think
Right.
of, and there's only been one.
Yeah,
Just one.
I mean, I
it
know
wasn't bad.
I know you were trying to be funny, but I mean, it really is, calming. It's a calming thought that we won't see another one of those movies.
I'm not a superhero guy.
Yeah, me neither.
I wish there was just a movie about a regular guy who could love. You know what I mean?
That's a superpower.
That's a superpower.
It's a man who can love. I love it. I did watch The Boys. Have you seen that?
What is that?
The Boy is a superhero TV show. It's on.
Oh, I heard it was good.
It's good.
Is it good? Why is it
Yes.
so good?
I think it's good because I do feel like it's rooted in the psychology of actual human beings what would actually happen if you were given godlike power.
And they're young kids?
No, I mean it's everybody.
Boys.
But,
Why do they call it boys?
Because the boys are that's the crew that's hunting some of these superheroes. But there's
Oh wow, they're hunting them.
Yeah. Because there's anti-superheroes, and then the superheroes are also being run by a huge corporation that uses them to make movies and promote political
yeah, that's
agendas.
what I heard was really good about it.
Yeah,
what service is that on?
I believe it's on Amazon.
Okay. I haven't canceled that one yet. I canceled Hulu and Disney Plus this week. And I'm hoping to cancel them all.
Yeah.
And get back to reading and
Yes.
jerking off.
Yes. I love a good jerk read. When you're reading and you get so pumped up by a conspiracy theory
It
on.
was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
I am listening to that Chaos book about the conspiracies that the CIA was involved with the brainwashing of Charles Manson.
Is it legit?
Yes. I mean, I'm convinced it's legit because the author expresses how painstakingly he researched everything, because there was all these things that kind of delved into conspiracy theory, and he was a legitimate guy trying to legitimately write something, and then it's like getting into this conspiracy theory territory, and he's like, I can't just go out there with this information. I'll sound like a nut. So then he verify it with documents and all this other stuff. But it's pretty good, and I get real horny when I'm listening to it on Audible.
I wonder what the hell that is about. I mean, conspiracy theories, and I'm sure it was, just horrific stuff.
Yeah.
And yet you're getting aroused.
I know. My dad used to read the James and the Giant Peach to me, when I was a little boy. I don't know if that's probably shouldn't have said that.
I don't see what James and the Giant Peach has to do with CIA.
I don't know.
But I'm glad you made that connection for your next therapy session.
Yep. And Eddie's looking at the clock because it's time to wrap it up. Before we go, I want to encourage everybody, go to www.pepmonge.bandcamp.com. I believe it's bandcamp.com, but there'll be a link in the description of this video.
We'll link it.
And go over to Patreon if you want to support this insanity that we put on every week for you. We'll get you the video of this podcast the day that it comes out. You get exclusive stand-up clips. And go to YouTube, where we always post the episode a week later, plus some extra clips, some best of guided meditation, some guided meditation clips. And let's see that YouTube channel grow. That would be hugely beneficial to us. And it would give me a reason to continue living.
So that's it, folks. Thank you again. Go to eddiepepitone.com. I'm touring again. All the good stuff is on that website. And I want to thank Kevin. I want to thank Alex and Milo in the booth, Fanny Coast Studios. And we will see you soon on Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.